Hey guys, this is Lugaya and welcome back to Kentucky Route Zero. Okay, let's talk to Conway. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Maybe fresh air? Fresh air? Maybe. It's homey in that cabin though, and warm. It's just that thing about... what was it? When you walk through a door. When you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room into another, you forget what you wanted. I have that a lot. You have to walk back out just to remember, like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. Looks cold down there, and dark. You weren't in the cabin long. Get any sleep? Had a weird dream. Yeah, that's when you get the strangest dreams. When you nod off, right? Just kind of dip your toes into sleep and some weird image floats by and takes a nibble. I have that a lot too. Don't know about you guys, but I do. Shannon leans over the railing and looks at the river below. It does look cold, doesn't it? Yeah, better keep that kid away from the edge. A person could easily fall in. He's been exploring. He seems to keep himself entertained. It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up, huh? You look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. Do you really have to go and work at Hard Times? Didn't seem so bad, did it? You lost an arm and a leg, and it's being all weird and stuff, so maybe a little bit. You know, you're gonna be ending up like a glowing skeleton, so if you don't think that's bad, I don't know. It's a way to live. I mean, rent a bed, eat at the cafeteria. Not like I have a choice. I think you do have a choice though. I've got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. That's why it's such a damned shame when people go sudden. Well, don't you just repay them with money instead, you know? Get some money somewhere. I don't know. Heck, I don't know. Interesting. Ooh. Looks cool. Do I need to do anything? No. Don't have anything to do it with. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kay told me that I ought to have been a photographer. She said you have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there, and that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway. Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Do I know just about every story on this river? Most of them I've picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening. See? Now I know what you're gonna ask, so I'm gonna answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain, and the whole community brings their insights to bear on the brittle facts of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw the big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or, anyway, I talked to a few sailors who'd recently crossed paths with him, and, I suspect, sampled his wares. One night, when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mail drop by the silo of Late Reflections. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians whom I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time. A young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog. We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. Cool. Ezra stayed on the tugboat and looked around the map room. Ezra followed Junebug and John into the gas station. Okay, please don't drown if I do the last one. Yeah. Please don't drown. Act 4, Scene 2. A gas station. We cut it close. I usually find this place upriver. Everybody's on the lake tonight. The gas station moves around? Sure, it's not anchored or anything. Could be anywhere up and down the Echo. You just kind of run into it when you need it, or hopefully a little before you need it. I usually stop here once a night though. To be honest, I'm not sure it's even the same one. Doesn't have a name or anything, and I never really pay attention to whom's behind the counter. Anyway, it's nice to see you two. Most of my regular passengers must have gotten held up elsewhere in their journey tonight. It's that storm, I think. Watching Ezra sprint past. Look at him go. That kid has a lot of energy. It's got to be past his bedtime or something, right? I don't think he has a bedtime. He's a maverick. I'm doing that one. Sounds familiar. You don't have any of your own. I mean, no, I guess not. I just realized. You two come through here so often. We chat about all kinds of stuff, but I never thought to ask about family. We're all the family we need. That's sweet. So, how about that storm upstairs? Did you two get caught in it? I heard it kind of roamed around uncertain. I'm sure we'll hear all about it tomorrow. Flooding, property damage, probably killed a few tomatoes. It's got the river churning and everyone headed to the lake here, where the water's calmer. I myself don't mind navigating a choppy river. Not at all. I've got a feel for it. Plus, it's better for fungal growth. High water consumes the cave moths, and their wet wings clump together into these little balls of nutrient-dense mushroom food. Jammed by current here and there between the rocks. You have never seen a mushroom grow like a soggy cave moth carcass. Ew. Ane. Amazing. If I could get a day off, Val and I would be out there all day tomorrow to harvest. I mean it. They'll be ready by tomorrow. A mushroom will grow just as fast as you can pump water into it. Hey, are you two headed out this way tomorrow? Maybe I could send Val ashore with you for a few hours. She's got a remarkable nose for mushrooms. You wouldn't even need to know what to look for. Put a bag around her neck and she'll just bring them back to you. Really? Yeah? We don't know where we'll be tomorrow. Ah, I should have figured. Seems you two are always on the move. It does seem that way. Silence. So, I should get back aboard. No rush. I just want to brew some tea before we get underway. Headed into the station? That one. Sounds better. Yeah, picking out a snack for John. To Johnny. She doesn't let you pick out your own snacks? It's for the best. I get a little overwhelmed by all those shelves of candy. Too much of a good thing. Hey, while you're in there, could you remind the gas station attendant this fuel is on my tab? Charged to Mucky Mammoth. Oh, and Will wanted a scratch ticket. Thanks. To Junebug. I think I'll just watch the lake for a bit, ma'am. Okay. Anything else we can do here? Or do we just need to leave after this? Yeah, there's nothing else to do. Oh well. Really? Oh, we... Okay, I'm just gonna have a little... Can we all go here? No? It's really dark, so I can't really see. I think that's the end of the boat anyways. Okay. Let's go back then. Cause we can't go in, right? Is this going in? Oh, it is. Okay. Awesome. Attendant. There's somebody passing on a boat thingy. Don't know what that is. Looking for crystals. Snacks. Sure, we have snacks. We have... How about some jerky? It's homemade, not by me. You work on the Mammoth? I can add it to your tab. Oh, you know the tugboat? The captain, Kate, said I'd have to remind you. Sure. They're here every night. It's okay, I have one of those faces. Forgettable. I wouldn't say that. It's okay, I've learned to accept it. In fact, I've learned to cherish it. There's dignity in being forgotten. Letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled. I used to live in a city. I mean a real city. Cleveland, Ohio. I had some family money then, and I didn't have to work. I lived in hotels in daylight. I walked wherever the people were. My only duty was to the crowd. I was its observer, its historian, its detective, its poet. Well, the money ran out, and I dispersed with the rest of them. I took my duties with me here, to Lake Teith and the Echo River. I live behind this counter, anonymous, invisible, but I live with dignity. And yourself? Sure, something like that. I enjoy the company of strangers. I like to keep moving. They enjoy the company too. As fleeting as it is, sufficient unto itself. Snacks are in the back there. Can I have a look? Junebug surveys a row of chocolates, licorices, cheese crackers, dehydrated, bleached, reconstituted, and colorized. Okay. That attendant is a trip. Letting the crowd flow around you unspoiled, he said. I like that one. A bag on the bottom shelf is decorated with cartoonish pictures of vegetables. Through a plastic window in the packaging, she can see puffed corn shaped and colored like carrots, tomatoes, and broccoli florets, and a few puffy white discs that might represent potatoes. Who knows, maybe he's onto something. Somewhere in there is surely a preservative. In case the rest of the process hasn't done enough to stop the flow of time, she turns the package over to examine the ingredients. Which one to choose, guys? That one. Does Johnny ever feel like that? She turns the bag over to look for the ingredients, but only finds a marketing blurb. Inspired by real vegetables. Huh. Okay. Let's talk to Norm. Shit. The floodwater washed you halfway up to sea. I was looking for you down by New Koningsberg. Same as usual, but ain't nobody there. And the river's deep as an elephant's... Noticing Junebug. Oh. Didn't see you there, ma'am. Pardon my language. Where are you headed? Well, in fact, I'm headed right here. Glad to have found it at last. Extending his hand warmly. I expected you. Must be Loretta. Enchanted to meet you. Sorry I'm late. Hey, is that coming on too flowery or something? Enchanted. Repeating it now, I feel a little silly. Sounds pretty old-fashioned. Is that the kind of gal Loretta is? Yeah. I'm not Loretta, but I think you'll do fine with Enchanted. Well, thanks for saying so. But now I'm double embarrassed. You picked a funny place to meet. You're probably right about that. I guess I thought it'd be like neutral territory. And we both live on the river. It's not very romantic though, is it? I met Loretta on the computer. We met each other over there. Or I guess we spoke through the computer and agreed to meet. I don't know the terminology. I haven't dated in quite a while. Back when I met Greta, that's my wife, my ex. Or maybe I am her ex. I don't know how to say it. Anyway, back then there wasn't even such a thing as computers at all. I guess there probably was, but I never heard of them. I worked in textiles. So here I am. So, what's your plan when Loretta shows up? Oh, maybe head down to the rum colony. Shoot, I forgot to ask if she likes to drink. You really never know these days. I guess first I'd ask her about that. If she doesn't like rum, I'd maybe try to take her by the bat sanctuary. That's pretty romantic, in a sense. Like misty valleys and ruined churches romantic, not like flowers and chocolates romantic. Of course, they've got that memorial there. It's a little depressing, actually. Maybe we'd kind of sail around that. Damn it all, I guess I probably missed her. I wonder if she'll agree to meet me again. I'm sure she'll understand with the weather and all. I wouldn't if I... No. Nice of you to say so. Well, I guess I'll head on back. Hey, supposing Loretta doesn't want to see me after all. I'm out of your league. My card is full. Oh! No, sorry, that's not what I meant. Actually, I wanted to ask you for some advice. I had to type up a sort of autobiography for the computer date, and I spent a lot of time on it, but I only got one reply, and it was Loretta herself. I was happy to meet her, but supposing she's lost interest now, don't you think you could maybe give me some feedback? It's only a paragraph. A fucking paragraph, really? I have it all memorized. I spent so damn long writing it. Sure. Give it to me. Okay, here Here's how it goes. I'm a good-natured man, retired, and spend most of my time sailing the Echo River, riding currents of a subterranean gas and that strange invisible wind that moans out of the small tunnels along the bank. Seeking a companion to map the river with me, I have 2 grown children, but they live far away. No goofballs. Okay, what do you think? Yeah, the wind. Thing about the wind is a little bit much. Yeah, you're probably right. I wanted to show my poetic side. I'll save that for the date. What was that about goofballs? I mean, like serious inquiries only. Why don't you just put that there? Read about people wasting your time. You might miss out on some real great goofballs. I'm doing this one. Haha, you may be right about that. I like goofballs. I'm a goofball too, so. It's much more fun than those gloomy people. They're all like, how do you call it? I don't know. Don't have the words. I mention your children. Oh, I figure it'll come up somehow. I don't know how people feel about dating with kids. Like I said, it's been a while. You proud? Yeah, sure I am. My son is a school teacher and my daughter owns a printing press. Good people. Yeah, maybe I just mentioned it. They're hoping I'll get asked to brag a little. Alright, thanks for your help, ma'am. You've given me a lot to think about. I'm ready to get back on that computer. You have a good night now. What's left of it anyways. Cool. I like it. Bye. Johnny and Val. What do you think of that other dog we've got on board, Val? That one. He's a sleepy old hound dog. I know he isn't doing any mushroom hunting, that's for sure. He came along with that old man drinking up all your beer. And that one. Like to try my hand at the mushroom hunting. I bet I'd be pretty good at it. Weird cave fungus growing on soggy moth wings. Sounds kind of romantic, but also kind of gross, right? I like that one. So, could you fit in the sidecar? Would you like to ride with us for a day? I bet you would. We're a good company. Guess you'd miss Kate even just for a day. That one. Maybe we could still talk her into it. Maybe we can still talk her into it. Is he? Oh! I forgot that Val is the freaking dog that he's talking to. It's funny. I forgot that Val is my puppy dog. Okay, so that one. Okay, let's go to Johnny. Sorry, Cricket, nothing good on offer. Not even those little gummy pomegranate seeds. I didn't look. It's okay, I'll go check. Wish me luck. Good luck. I'm not gonna be a moany bitch and say, don't take too long. She's been there like half an hour herself. Okay, let's go in then. Let's go and get something to eat. Yeah. Do you carry those little gummy pomegranate seeds? I had 3 boxes at the beginning of this week, and they're all gone. Can't keep them on the shelves. To be honest, our whole inventory is pretty low right now. There's a delivery boat that usually swings by earlier in the night, but I guess something came up. Where are you headed? Helping some new friends make a delivery or along for the ride anyway. Just following Junebug. She was in here a minute ago. I'll do this one. Well, even if you're not doing the heavy lifting or navigating or whatever, a passenger contributes to a journey too. I never travel, but I do love travelers. That's what I like about this job. The travelers come to me. Do you ever get lonely here? Do you live nearby? Meet some interesting people? I wouldn't say I meet them, but I do sell them gas. Well, let me know if you can help you find anything. Oh, that's it? Ah, I wanted to have a look at the candy. Why? Glory, it is good to be among friends. Wow. Suit yourself. What are you so excited about? Can't help it. Every time I step into that boat alone, I think this could be the very last time. And then every time I come ashore, back among people, I think, solemnly, Glory, it is good to be among friends. Why get on the boat in the first place? Helps to keep things in perspective, I guess. Why get on the boat in the first place? It's a ritual of remembrance for me. Tonight particularly so. It's my birthday. I am 5 years old. Do you know why I say that? Well, I'm gonna tell you. 5 years, and some days ago, I set out on the Echo River alone, or so I thought at the time. I was looking for an ice floe. They're occasionally rumored to travel our humble artery on their way from who knows where to who knows where. Who knows why? It's a mystery. An hour into the journey, my lantern gave out. Now I always carry 3 or 4 spares. You'll never catch me in the dark again. Lesson learned, buddy. But that night, when that lantern went out, I was struck in the dark. I kept my arm extended, running my fingers along the cave wall, trying to keep my bearing as best I could, and at least make sure I wasn't going in circles. I just prayed I'd find another traveler who knew his way back to the lake or above ground, or even just a crack in the rock to get a glimpse of moonlight. I had a large bag of apples with me. After a long while, maybe a day, I was getting weak, so I took my hand down from the rock to tear the bag open. Well, when I reached back out, I couldn't find that cave wall anymore, or any other. I was totally unmoored? Don't know that word. Unmoored? Body totally adrift. And it was so dark. I started counting time in apples eating. I drifted in despair for 4 apples. Then I schemed and planned and dreamed for 2 apples. Finally I came to accept my fate. Lost at sea, and this phase I think would have continued indefinitely had I not come down to that very last damn apple. Picture me, feeling around in the empty bag, certain that somehow there was another one of those fist-sized chunks of life-giving fruit, already softened by the time, and probably an unappetizing brown. Nope, that was it. Just as I was about to bite into my last meal, I felt a tickle of my upper lip. It hatched. Right then. Couldn't have been a moment later or I would have eaten it. My last apple was infested by a damn fruit fly maggot. Ew. Well, that should have been the end of it. I should have eaten that apple and that fly while I was at it, and put an end to our little food chain suicide pact. But I waited. Out of mercy. After all, this fly was basically a newborn child, right? A gross insect child, but still a child, right? Born into darkness and famine, hungry and alone. I mean, can you imagine that? No other flies out there on the boat, and never would be. No other flies to welcome him into the world. I mean, no fly culture, no fly society, no fly history. A true orphan. I started to get depressed just thinking about it all. Worked out a thick tear. I'm not ashamed to say, well, that fly landed on my cheek. Right under my left eye. Right under that salty teardrop. And then, blinding glory. His ass lit up like a candle. That wasn't a fly, buddy. That was a damn lighting bug. So that's how come I'm here today with you folk. Only because I found my way out of that strange river cave by the dim-lit rear of some orphan insect hatched out of my last rotten apple. That's so cool. Glory, it is good to be among friends. That is so funny. Oh my god, I love that story. That is too cute. Okay, let's go to Junebug and Val. Did my Johnny talk your ear off? Big plans for the night. Did my Johnny talk your ears off out there? I suspect there are some things he can only say to animals. Damn, he's even got me talking to the dogs now. I like that one. I think I can see why he does it. You're a good listener, Val. Don't think I'll make a habit of it. That one. You're a good listener, Val. Okay, let's get the move on. I love this game. I know it's a lot of talking. It's nice. I like the story. It's just silly things. That guy's a trip. That gas station attendant, did you talk to him? It's funny. He actually reminds me of that frog we had for a bite. That frog you had? I like to think he was part of the family, you know? Okay, so how does that gas station attendant remind you of the frog? Oh, I don't know, because he likes to talk, I guess? Maybe we should pick up another one. A frog, or a cat, or an iguana, or something. What do you want a pet for? Feeling lonely? Or maybe a third person to travel with? Third person? Huh? Now that would be a whole new adventure, wouldn't it? Yep. You and me, we're good together. Safe, free, you know what I mean. We can try stuff out, change our clothes, swap parts around, just play. I'm not lonely, just curious. With other person to play with, what else could be? Okay. You may be right, Cricket. I don't think it's a good idea. We can keep it in mind. Let's not rush into anything. Yeah, you're right about that, ma'am. No rush. Oh, that's Kate. Time to hit the road. River, I mean. Yep. Let's go. Oh, don't need to do anything. Cool. Here we go again. See that small brick building? It used to be an upholstery shop. Now it's inhabited by a very skilled taxidermist, whose art is greatly in demand. When it was an upholstery shop, it didn't see nearly as much business. The old shop's name has been lost to time and weather. This was decades ago, and the only trace of it now is the grayed frame of an old sign behind the new lettering, which now reads Trapper, Stalker, and Sportsman, and then below, smaller, no specimen is too exotic, no arrangement too fanciful. Some of the upholstery equipment is still there though, and still sees active use. Elise is the resident artist, though she's not the owner of the shop. It's owned by a reclusive ex-convict. Ooh, which one is nicer? I like this one. It's more scary. It's owned by a reclusive ex-convict named Judah. Let's do that one. Very little is known about him. His crime is generally assumed to be violent or otherwise gruesome in some detail. Though of course that's all speculation and probably comes from his association with the taxidermy business. Even though he never so much as skins a squirrel, he's more like a silent partner. I guess those are the ones you're supposed to keep an eye on. Yeah. But Judah's old and keeps to himself, and the consensus seems to be that he's paid his debt to society, whatever that may have been. Okay. Shannon retreated to the TV room to browse the mammoth's video collection. Shannon followed the other travelers ashore to a drowsy beachside bar called the Rum Colony. I would like to see the collection though, because it's supposed to be weird. So let's go and look at that. Look at that. I've already done the bar thing. One of the first, the other acts. Ooh, yeah. And we're gonna go and do that in the next video, guys. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.